And who knows? I mean, the location of a certain group of people in Benghazi or whatever may be given out by someone, that's and the news goes back, and pretty soon, this is news that's being used by the foreign enemies that would subvert this country and bring it down, or used by terrorists. Okay, on a minor scale, I don't mean to diminish the subject whatsoever, because I have been on the receiving end of bullying myself, and I can tell you right now, everybody looks the other way, and no one wants to get involved, and you're on your own most of the time. But this time, the mother or the mother-to-be, the fiance's, this lady's fiance's 10-year-old daughter, Kaylee, was bullying a classmate, and she tried to remedy the bullying situation. This 10-year-old daughter, Kaylee, was bullying a classmate. The teacher had emailed the mother explaining that the girl had been teasing a student for 3 weeks on how she was dressed. As a result, the victim no longer wanted to come to school. Little wonder. Well, when Olson, the mother, received the email, she was confused because just a few weeks ago, Kaylee had received an award from her principal for stopping a bullying incident at the school. So Olson told Yahoo Shine that she confronted Kaylee and explained that she had called another girl sleazy for wearing Daisy Duke shorts and a tank top. And she says, we've taught Kaylee to dress conservatively, but never expected her to be judgmental. It says she was not apologetic. Kaylee was not. So in lieu of grounding, she felt that she would resonate. She turned to Facebook. She asked friends for advice, and the next day she had a plan of action. She took her family to some thrift shops, and Kaylee deemed various articles of clothing ugly and embarrassing. Olson had her try them on as a joke, and eventually told them that she was going to purchase those clothes for her as punishment. And she wanted her to truly experience the embarrassing feelings that she had evoked in someone else by wearing clothes she felt self-conscious in. So the goals were to select the clothes that were cheap. It was not to buy the cheap clothes. It was to buy things that Kaylee herself said she hated. Also, Olson said she wasn't going to try to force her to apologize to her classmate. Her remorse had to be genuine. So the next day, she forced Kaylee, even though Kaylee was crying, to wear these clothes that she hated, and that she had been criticizing the other girl about. And when she came home that afternoon, Kaylee said the kids laughed at her for wearing pajamas. And she also, she felt so guilty, she pulled her classmate, the victim of the bullying, aside and apologized for her behavior the previous day. And to solidify the punishment, Olson snapped a photo of Kaylee wearing the outfit, and her face was blurred, and it was posted on Facebook. By then, it was decided that Kaylee had suffered enough until she had learned that she had gotten into another altercation with a second girl. And when she explained how she had spoken rudely to a friend that was picking on her clothes, that she decided that she needed to wear another embarrassing outfit the following day. And she was made to wear her father's soccer clothing. No, she was made to attend her father's soccer game wearing the clothing, and posed for another outfit photo. Her face was blurred again and posted on Facebook website. And they said they Surprisingly, she handled her punishment gracefully. What people don't understand is that she genuinely learned from the experience, and she thanked her for making her go through that. And she says she's going to keep the clothes in case she's mean to other people, other kids again, and hopefully one day that they will be able to laugh about it. Folks, this has grown into an epidemic proportion. You've seen it in teen movies and things of such, where hazing, and there's always some bully knocking a food tray out of somebody's hands, or they think that rude behavior is funny. But it's no laughing matter because it can affect your attitude in so many ways, and it can be long lasting into the future. So therefore, please keep in mind whenever you're uh, commenting or being judgmental towards someone else and you're verbalizing it and you're making an example out of someone, that you are becoming a judge, and who appointed you to be that judge? The Bible says only God is the judge. So, please keep that in mind. I mean, bullying is punished in the United Kingdom. They take it very seriously. You could be sued for bullying. So anyway, that's where we are on the home front. Now let's go over to a little bit over to the overseas stories. One of the stories not covered by the major media that in the during the Oklahoma tragedy was Stockholm, Sweden. Groups of youth have smashed shop windows and set cars ablaze and burnt down a culture center as riots started in a Stockholm suburb after a fatal police shooting spread to other low-income areas of the Swedish capital. Violence is not the answer, folks, for things like this. Accidents do happen, like in the case of where the young girl lost her life when this 20-year criminal had her in a headlock, and this policeman opened fire and he shot, and one of the shots unfortunately hit the victim in the head that he was trying to save. I'm sure he feels very badly about that. I'm sure that'll always be in his mind, and he'll never forget it. But sometimes you don't have time to think. Sometimes you have to react, and but you don't have to organize and set things afire and burn things down just because it's something that it looks like somebody else is getting away with. So gangs of 60 youths set fire to a school and a nursery and hurled rocks at police and firefighters. Well, what did that settle? What did that fix? That didn't fix anything. I mean, sure, you had a fatal police shooting. That was bad enough. But then you had multiple crimes committed after that. Seemingly like two wrongs make a right. That's not true. That is not true, and it never works. It never works, and it may eventually lead to some sort of reforms, but violence is not the answer. This is a story that is a few days old, but it's kind of got lost in the news after the Oklahoma tornado story. And this is something, folks, that you may give heed to about global warming. There's a situation where I call it an ice flow. I said there's no way you can call it anything else, but someone else is calling it an ice tsunami. But a wall of ice moved off of a lake in Minnesota. A wall of ice moved by the wind left the lake, headed towards a dozen of two-story homes in Minnesota, and actually started crushing the homes. And it was from the extreme temperatures that they were experiencing at that time. And that had never, ever, ever been observed before. The ice looked like ice floes that you see in the Arctic, where the ice floes are crushing ships and all of that and encapsulating the ships to where they cannot escape. There's stories in the news about what's causing California homes to sink 10 to 12 feet. Their landslide threatening the Seattle neighborhoods. And there was a 7.3 magnitude earthquake that struck off the coast of California. Japan. I apologize for that. So you see, in spite of all of the attention given to the above, there are many, many other stories out there, and right now it looks like to me Obama is catching a break from all of this, from all the heat was being put on him. His stories about him and the abuse of the IRS and everything else is kind of like taking second seat to the other news that's out there. So anyway, that's the news for today, and I would like to make a statement regarding what the Bible says about these things, and it has to do with those that are righteous, the people that are righteous, which are right in right standing with God. It says they go from strength to strength, and it says that if a man delights greatly in God's commandments, his seed will be mighty on the earth, and generations upright shall be blessed. Wealth and riches shall be in his house, and his righteousness endures forever. Unto the upright there ariseth light in the darkness. He is gracious and full of compassion and righteous. A good man showeth favor and lendeth. That means give to people in need and help people in need. He will guide his affairs with discretion. Surely he will not be moved forever. The righteous shall be in everlasting remembrance. He shall not be afraid of evil tidings, which is all this news. His heart is fixed and trusting in the Lord. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he sees his desire upon his enemies. He hath despised and hath given to the poor. He has dispersed. I'm sorry. He has dispersed and he has given to the poor. His righteousness endureth forever. His horn shall be exalted with honor. The wicked shall see it and be grieved, and the wicked shall gnash with his teeth and melt away. The desire of the wicked shall perish. Blessed are those that are undefiled in the way and walk in the way of the Lord and the law of the Lord. You got to look at it this way, folks. Our country culture is more anti-Christian now than it is anything else. But when you see this outpouring of love, towards these victims, sometimes things happen, to bring people together, and open their eyes and let them see just how fragile life is. We're all just one heartbeat away from not being here. And that's a very close call. Every day we have thousands of those close calls. And it's only by the grace of God that we live and we exist. And we exist for His purpose and for His use. And we should never be so arrogant as to think that we are immune to these things, because I'm sure on everybody's agenda that day, a tornado was not on the agenda. even though they had watches out. Um, you're not promised tomorrow, and where are you going to be after you